Hello, I have hope you're having a great time on this Ten Commandment hike. How are you today? And how are your friends, your teachers, your family? My name is Gyoke Yokuyama. I am a Buddhist priest, minister who serves a church called Long Beach Buddhist Church. You may think it's interesting how we call this place a church. It has a long history that goes all the way back to pre-war time. West side of Long Beach, there used to be quite a big population of Japanese Americans who were released from the internment camp after World War II. And there were also those who lived in a place called Terminal Island, which is now a part of the port. It's a fishing village, and many Japanese lived there doing fishing. And there was a cannery. So it's just a little part of the history of the city. Many of those people are villagers who were sent to the camp when the World War II broke out. Um, they had no place to come back to. Many settled in the west side of Long Beach. And that's how this community started. If you come to the west side of Long Beach, you don't really see too many Japanese people anymore because they were all moved on to different parts of the city or different cities. But you see our church, our Buddhist temple or church, and a small Japanese American community, cultural center, as a remnants of such days. So this is part of the legacy of that generation, and it's also part of the city of Long Beach. It's history. That's part of the history of Long Beach Buddhist Church. Now, I was assigned today to talk about Ninth Commandment. Thou or you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. I would like to just mention that in the Buddhist commandment, Buddhist precepts, there are just like commandments. We have rules that we hear and listen to, pay attention to in order to keep the organization, keep our community safe, keep our community harmonious. Just like laws we have in this country or in your school. But we put a little emphasis more on the precepts, which is like a guidelines like we have now under the quarantine, right? It's not like quite enforceable by the third party. It's not like a policeman would come and check if you're following it. Precepts is a little bit like that. We take and uphold these precepts of not telling a lie. And we hold that as like a mirror. How am I doing? Somebody was telling us, some people were saying that as a human nature, we are like 60% constantly making false statements. It's a kind of shocking percentage on a regular basis. So there are certain precepts which are subject to failure. And as you get older, if you're a teenager, if you're grown-ups, you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So there are situations where you say, oh, it's hard. Life is hard. But you keep this as like a guideline, like a navigation system. You may take a different route, but this is the path you can always come back to, right? And those include being free from evil acts, bad acts, to freely conduct good deeds, virtuous acts, and freely benefit other beings, all beings. And it goes on to honoring all life, taking what you only receive, taking only what you receive, and then calm your craving, calm your desire, and then stay truthful. I think that's the parts relevant to the ninth commandment. But at the same time, we also have these precepts to keep, which is to clarify, to maintain the quality of our mind, stay non-judgmental, stay humble and respectful, stay generous and embracing, and importantly, stay free from anger, or hatred. It embodied the life of the awakened ones. We talk about Buddha nature. It's sort of like, I don't want to make an easy comparison because it has so much depth behind your teaching. But we talked once about the Christ nature, the nature that we have as human. In a Buddhist world, though, there's a little warning about being truthful. When the truthfulness comes from our own small mind, let's say not from the God, or not from the Dharma, vastness, as we call it in Buddhist terms, it gets entangled with our own attachment of what's right and what's wrong, what matters or what doesn't matter. We have things that matter to us deeply. It could be your best friend, your little brother or sister, your mom and dad, or your favorite teacher, or your treasure, sports, art, something that matters to you. And when we develop this is also something that helps us stay truthful, but also generates some sort of attachment, which is, I think, perfectly natural, because you don't want that those you care the most get hurt, offended, right? We want to be truthful and sincere to what matters to us, who we are, what we genuinely care about. But we also need to be attentive of whether we are honoring the life of others, being kind to others, or benefiting others, all beings. We also need to be attentive for free from anger or hatred. We also need to be attentive about whether we are keeping the mind clear, staying non-judgmental. Like I said, being right, being wrong, when it comes from the attachment, can blind us in a way, and then it takes us from the place where we can be kind. Being right, being kind, are they the same? Is that what we're doing? Being wrong, is it also being mean? Being right or being wrong? Being truthful or being not so truthful? Sometimes it goes differently. It's not always the same as being kind or gentle. Being mean, arrogant, conceited. I think it is with this sort of spirits we take a vow not to lie, make a false statement. So, luckily, you have all the friends around you. You can just check upon your teachers, and in the Buddhist world, it's called Sangha. And just sometimes it's really hard to do it alone. So, I hope you stay really connected with your friends and community and enjoy your spiritual journey. Thank you for listening. It's always good to see you, and I really look forward to seeing you in person again. Please take care and take care of your family and friends. Please stay safe.